And once again, we're back with another end of day PulseWave report with yours truly, the Our Go Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave Price Trigger Reports. And to receive your special daily reports, you go to PulseWaveTrading.com. You can open your account, and you will instantly see on your dashboard the coming recommended trades for the upcoming trading session. We have everything from forex to cryptos to futures to stocks, you name it. We got it on most continents. With that being said, it's time to look at our charts and see what eventful day we had in said markets. All right, the first chart is Litecoin. So as you can see here, Litecoin is looking like it wants to do a little something. We got a primary rally alert finally here on Litecoin. We'll see if the market can get enough bulls involved to make a go of it. It should be noted that we got down close to this bearish pointer here. Haven't taken it out yet, but got close here. Perhaps it's a test, and then the market will rally or not. We'll see. But so far, we put in a primary rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Overhead trend line resistance around the 120 mark is the initial target. If we do not get any upside production on this one, that means that this bearish pointer will be tested and taken out, just like the bearish pointer was back here. And this one here. All right. So just keep that going. Next up, we got the US dollar. All right. So the US dollar has given us now an official primary crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Trend line support down here around the 96.50 handle is about where the trend line support is, somewhere around that neighborhood. That's what it's looking like. Looks like this long, strong dollar bull run has exhausted itself. We'll see what happens. If we don't get any downside production, it's possible the market will make a quick rip to parity before coming back down again. Next up is wheat. So we're seeing one of the most incredible down days I think I've pretty much ever seen in this market. This doesn't necessarily do it justice, but I mean, I saw this thing just collapse. It was crazy. This particular front month, I think, is worse on some of the other ones, but it was just incredible. And I mean, you think you've had several days of lock limit up, so it's only, you would think, it's only necessary to see this come down. You got this gap down here that was created on March the 1st. So, it has to come down there and back and fill that. I tried to put a short in so I could ride some of this down wave to get in here, but I got a rejection saying they were only taking something orders to close, shorts to close, or something. It was something weird. So there's a lot going on with that market. So I said, okay, fine, I'll just stay out of it for now. There's other things to trade, so I have moved on. Next up, you got Ethereum. Now, this one I do like. This has a primary rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. I've decided to go ahead and take that trade. So we'll see what happens in the overnight market if those conditions are met and I get a fill. That'll be nice. The direction for this is going to be the overhead trend line resistance around the 2800-ish mark. If I do not get a fill because the conditions are not met, then it's possible we're going to come down here and test and take out this bearish pointer. It should be noted that this is the futures contract, not the cash market, but rather the futures. Okay. We also have this bearish pointer way back here that was made on January the 24th. So we got two bearish pointers looming, but we may get some upside production, and we may take a run test up here at the resistance and then come down and reconcile these 2 pointers. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. The last buy signal you saw was here on February the 22nd. We got this nice upside production, and then the one before that here, we got this nice upside production. This was back here on January the 28th. Second notice was on February 3rd. We got nice upside production. So I think it's coming. One thing to note, though, that the length of these runs has gotten shorter. This is a nice long one. Then you got a little bit shorter here. This one could be even more shorter, and it could actually be setting up the next leg down like this run did. Boom, and then this run, and then boom. So we'll see. We'll see if it's an overall consolidation situation or what. All right, now let's contrast the US dollar with the euro. Here's your euro currency now. All right. You'll notice that the euro dollar is giving us a primary rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. This market has just been straight up obliterated. So overhead trend line resistance around the 112.50-ish level is the upside potential on this particular trade. If we get upside production from this rally alert, that is where we'll be looking to go. Next up is gold. So gold has done something quite interesting. Let's see how far we are here. Let me just pull it up and see, did we do what I think we did? Okay, so all right, so the all-time high was 2063, and that was back in 2020. Today we hit 2072. All right, so that is a new high, and the futures actually put in a new high close also. Let me just go back and make sure. Let's see, this is 2011. Yeah, 2011 we hit 1909. All right, so we definitely took out the 2011 high, and this one here was August the 20. I'm sorry, the month of August of 2020, we hit that 2063. All right, so we hit the 2063, closed at 1967. We closed so far at 2040 on the monthly chart. Going back to the daily real quick. You see here we got a close today around 2040.10. So yeah, new high close, new high period for gold futures today. And so I think that this one is going to try to continue to run at this point. I don't really see anything to not let it run. I think it's interesting that they're finally letting the market be the market. We'll see how long they allow this thing to happen. But right now it looks good. This is kind of a gap here. So we probably will see it come down at some point and break the 1900 psychological support. We'll see what happens. But for now, the bulls are winning this one and they got it locked and loaded. All right, your Nasdaq 100. So you see kind of a double bottom thing here happening. You got this bearish pointer. Market's trying to come down and test or take that out. And we got acceleration to the downside happening. So I think the market is in trouble. I think it wants to fall. And according to what we have right here, this is a bear market. Well, rallies are definitely getting sold. So, yeah, I think we hit an inflection point today. Last inflection point was back here on January the 5th. Then prior to that, we had this one here on December the 17th near the holidays. So kind of a false start. Market popped up. Then we hit an inflection point here. And then you got all of this. So yeah, this one here was early, but this one right here was right on the money. So I think we have another leg down coming in your Nasdaq 100. I know, bad news all around. Next up is crude oil. So here's your crude oil futures. You got a narrow range bar. All right, so it's an inside bar. It didn't take out the prior day's high or low. It's just hanging out there, chilling for a little bit. But the bulls got it locked and loaded. I don't see this one going anywhere anytime soon, but up. So there she goes. Next one, we got the Russell My Hustle. Now, we got a secondary rally alert here on this Russell. The bulls are keeping the market from dropping. They're keeping it just floating sideways here. All right, so I do think that the bottom of the Kumo cloud is in play. That's around 2050. That's good for at least 110 points to the top side, but we cannot ignore this bearish pointer right here. We cannot ignore this bearish pointer over here. The one prior, which was this one, was taken out by this one. So this one is looming. This one here was taken out by this one. So this is the key one from February the 24th. That bearish pointer is just sitting there. And I think the market is in jeopardy of coming down and taking this out. But we got this secondary rally alert. So maybe the bulls can wrestle control and make the market pop for a minute. We'll see what happens. But so far, not looking like that. All right, here is your silver. Silver exploded with gold today. So I was very surprised. It looked like we were going to pull back, but it looks like the market wants to go higher. So it did rally over $1 today, and it's looking powerful. Looks like it wants to keep flexing and keep going. So we'll see what happens. But 27 handle seems to be a psychological resistance right now for silver. We'll see if it can get a close above that. But the bulls got it in effect. All right, taking a look at bonds. Ticker is TLT. You see it scattered, jumping all around the place, gap up, gap down. Doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up. It's just a sideways market right now. All things are happening below the Kumo cloud, below the trend line resistance, and the market is just under a lot of selling pressure. We did get that pop from this rally alert here. The market did pop, but it popped and dropped, kind of just hanging out, just trying to get something going, but just having the darndest of a time. You had another pop warning here. You finally did get this upward momentum, but then it just gave back, then tried to come up again. So it's bouncing around up here. The market's trying to get something going. They really do need for these bond prices, for the most part, to maintain, because the lower these bond prices drop, the higher those yields are going to go, and it's going to get out of control and put pressure on already crippling inflation. So this is a delicate dance in your bonds right now. Last but not least is the UUP, which is the US Dollar ETF. Now this one does have a primary crash alert for tomorrow. As you can see, you did gap up on March the 4th. That's a huge gap, so the market does need to come down back and fill that. And then you had this gap here from March the 1st. Need to deal with that. So yeah, there is definitely some room here to come down. Got to fill this gap and got to fill this one. So this market could come down quite a bit, which means that instead of UUP, you're going to be looking at UDN. UDN should be in play on that one. If anyone wants to try to play a little bit of downside on that, I don't know how much downside there will be, but at least it's worth your exploration to look into it. And UDN is on the dashboard, by the way. All right, so here's your 88 Cardano that you wanted to see. As you can see here, so you had this primary crash alert. You did get the downside production, secondary crash alert warning, and yeah, you got even more. So this one keeps falling. I think it's trying to test and take out the bearish pointer from February the 24th. So right now, this one is showing a lot of signs of weakness. Right now, it has everything going for it to rally and at least test the overhead trend line resistance at that $1.05-ish level, but just can't get that momentum together. The bears are just crashing the market. Every rally is just getting just handled. So right now, the bears are in full control with increasing downside pressure and momentum. So 88 Cardano looks to still be on the chopping block. All right, so you know what it is, man. Smash that like button if you haven't already done so. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.